Hello and welcome to Book Talk with Massimo and Cody. Today we'll be comparing two books, 1984 by George Orwell and Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency by Douglas Adams. The first question for today is, do you think it is the worst idea to compare these two books, and could comparing them in the first place destroy the world through some kind of interdimensional universe that is trying to get some ice cream because it's never had any?
Well, in a way, yes, I think it's one of the worst ideas ever to compare these two books because...
Wait, which book are we talking about again?
Cody, we're talking about both of them.
But I only read one of them.
Doesn't matter.
Then what are we doing?
We're trying to find out if comparing two completely different books could destroy the video and everything around it.
That sounds stupid.
Anyway, yes, I think it's a bad idea because they both have completely different plot points. One is a comedy while the other is a drama. And Dirk Gently has some of the longest sentences I've ever seen, while 1984 has some of the longest paragraphs I've ever seen.
I want ice cream.
Cody, there's no ice cream on set.
Then why is the interdimensional universe trying to take it? Plus the video and everything around it is still fine.
There's no ice cream!
There is if the government wants it to be there.
Can you please summarize both 1984 for the people who didn't read it and Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency for the people who don't even know what it is?
Well, I can already see that Cody here understands 1984 a lot better than I do, so Cody, you go and summarize it.
1984 is about a guy named Winston who's basically with the inner party, but then he decides not to be anymore. So he goes around committing thought crimes because he's going crazy with the idea of being corrupt. Then he meets a woman who's part of the Junior Anti-Sex League, and they both hang out doing corrupt things together. But then finally, towards the end, they get arrested, are negotiated with, and are cured thanks to some help from the wonderful government. And they realize what mistakes they made by committing thought crimes, so they never do it again, and live a happy life loving their leader, Big Brother.
Oh, okay, I'm just going to ignore you for now, okay? Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency is about a detective who's a phony psychic, a murdered employer, a confused employee, and an odd relationship with the employer's sister, a defective robot, a time machine at an old college, a 4-billion-year-old ghost, and a missing cat. Dirk Gently, at the beginning of the book, is trying to solve the case of a missing cat, but is soon interrupted by Richard, an old friend of his, who has just found out that his employer, Gordon Way, from Way Forward Industries, the computer company, has been murdered, which isn't surprising considering he created a lot of stress to people and everything around him. Gordon's sister, Susan, is in complete shock, and things get worse between Susan and Richard, who are sort of engaged but not really. It's later found out, only to the reader, that a defective robot called an electric monk had accidentally shot Gordon without even really knowing what he was doing. As progression is made in the case of Gordon Way, thanks to the help of Dirk's strategy of using the idea of the interconnectedness of all things, Dirk and Richard find out that one of the professors at the college Dirk, Richard, and Gordon all went to has a time machine which is hundreds of years old. After discovering the time machine, they realize that there is a ghost who turns out to be over 4 billion years old, who wants to use the time machine to go back and fix something. Something that needs to be fixed turns out to be the event that helped create all life on Earth, and after it's done, Richard and some other characters go and probably drink some tea somewhere, while Dirk gets back to solving the cat mystery.
That sounds way too creative. This book should be put in the memory hole right now.
Exactly how many similarities would these two books have, if any?
I know one thing, not 10.
Okay, I think I have to think about this one for a bit. Is it okay if I tell what similarities are now?
No, because that's what the next question is about, and we need to make this video as long as possible.
Okay. For now I'll go with 2.
I came up with 3.
How?
Actually 5.
What? How did... Edward, what are the 5 things?
I never said 5, I said 8.
Fine, then what are the 8?
No, it's only 1.
Cody, are you contradicting me because you have 1984 stuck in your head, or are you just trying to annoy me?
I'm doing it because 2 plus 2 equals 42.
Don't you mean 2 plus 2 equals 5?
Ha! I get you to talk in newspeak.
And what are these similarities that supposedly exist, but shouldn't?
Well, there were actually 7 similarities with the 2, until the Ministry of Truth went and rewrote 1984 when it was first published.
What does that have to do with the question?
Who knows? It was erased from history anyway.
Cody, shut up.
You don't actually mean that. You only think you told me to shut up because you want to express your feelings so bad, but you can't, so you therefore imagine it.
Number 1.
They're not science fiction.
Yes, they are. Now shut your fake imaginary mouth. They're both science fiction, and number 2, they have an unexpected villain.
How was O'Brien unexpected? I think you told yourself that he was of the outer party because you felt sorry for Winston, when really you knew that he was too good to be true.
He was unexpected because he didn't even show up until halfway through the book.
You still knew it the whole time.
Anyway, O'Brien being the same kind of character in the same or similar situation as the Electric Monk and Dirk Gently, yet I think even at that, they're still 2 completely different characters with different personalities on what they're doing.
I still want ice cream. Why can't I have any?
Explain how these 2 books portray science fiction in the way Dirk Gently would use his knowledge and idea of the interconnectedness of all things.
What if 1984 isn't science fiction at all, and it's just a book about the real history of what life was like in that year, and the Ministry of Truth changed the history of the 1900s so 1984 could be classified as a fictional novel?
If that were the case, then wouldn't 1984 not exist?
Who knows?
Whatever. 1984 shows science fiction in a dramatic and realistic way, but Dirk Gently shows it in a more futuristic and sort of fantastical way. Because one is a comedy and the other is basically just depression spark, the way it's showed has to change since there are 2 different ideas with 2 different problems to solve, which both technically involve the fact that the whole world could be endangered. In 1984, the world is falling apart because the government is lying to its own country to stay in power, which makes everyone paranoid. At the same time, a huge war is going on that might not even really exist because the government made it up so they could gain even more power over their people. But in Dirk Gently's holistic detective agency, the fate of the planet depends on a 4 billion-year-old ghost who, if he doesn't go back in time using the time machine at the college, will not be able to alter history so that all life on Earth could evolve into what it has become today.
That's not true at all.
Why can't you just stay shut up for at least a minute?
Because Big Brother told me not to.
I thought Big Brother didn't exist.
He totally does. You know, I really should actually be interrogating you right now, but I'll be nice to you today since we're on live television.
We're not on live television.
We are if we want to be. Plus I wrote the script of this video.
Wow, your hands are totally fake.
I still wrote it. It's right here.
Where did my hat go? What? Cody, did you put it in the time machine again?